Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Sadashiva Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Dayakaram Dayakaram Dantam Dharma Pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya Varam Om Bhadram Karnebhya Shriyama Devaah Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangai Stuštuvagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitai Yadayuhu Sastina Indro Vriddhashravah Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaah Swasti Nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi Brihaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Tadeva Nishkalam Brahma. We saw yesterday, verse number 8. Nirvikalpam Niranjanam Tad Brahma Aham iti Jnatva Brahma Sampadyate Dhruvam. This is the Mahavakya. What is Mahavakya? The expression of identity, the unfoldment of identity between who and who? Jiva and Ishvara. And we have seen this in detail. And then the next two mantras talk about the nature. It's very interesting. It talks about the nature of the person who is what? Who is got self-knowledge, who is no longer ignorant. But since the person who has self-knowledge is one and the same as self-knowledge itself, so in a way it's delightfully unclear whether the person of knowledge is being spoken of, or what is being spoken of? The Brahman itself is being spoken of. And this obfuscation is on purpose. It's on purpose. Why? Because the Mundaka Upanishad says, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman is non-separate from Brahman, is Brahman, cannot be anything other than Brahman, has to be Brahman. There is no separation at all. It's one and the same. Unlike, and we have spoken of this many times before, unlike any other branch of knowledge. In other branches of knowledge, one's expertise in that body of knowledge remains what? Separate from oneself. We have seen this. Everywhere you see, we have seen this. So, a person who is studying microbiology for many years, what does not happen to them? They do not become a microbe. I have become one with the knowledge. It's not there. They do not suddenly, the professor of microbiology doesn't become a microbe. Pujya Swamiji also knew one professor. He used to study bats, only bats. Morning bat, evening bat, afternoon bat, fruit bat, this bat, that bat, all kinds of bats. And interestingly, his name was Bhatnagar. But he was in America. So how do you think they would have said his name? Yes, Professor Bhatnagar. So he did not turn into a bat. Okay, name was Bhatnagar. He was somewhere in Kentucky. So his name was Bhatnagar, but he never became a bat. Even though he was obsessed with bats, very good also, with all his research cutting edge research on bats, but he was not in the least bit what? Becoming into a bat. He didn't look like this and suddenly one wing has developed here. No such thing. So all other bodies of knowledge, no matter what it is, even the first portion of the Veda, you become a Pandit and you become an expert in the first portion of the Veda, you don't turn into a ritual. You don't. Because all branches of knowledge, all bodies of knowledge keep you, the knower, keep the pramata away as a separate entity. Keep the pramata going. Pramata is always going. It's kept going, it's kept intact. That is why no other body of knowledge is as scary as the Upanishad. Yes, because it obliterates the pramata, it completely makes the pramata go away. Go away means what? Go away as a small entity. No matter how much you know, whatever you know is what? Small, tiny. You just know a tiny amount. You don't know a lot. You never know a lot. Even if you have an expert, even if you have expertise in everything, you can come and occupy your position. You can come. Yeah. So, even if you have an expertise in everything, there is so much more you do not know. And we also illustrated this with Pujya Swamiji's question, famous question. Every knowledge is up to one more question. And then the person's ignorance is immediately evident. So, knocking off the knower means knocking off the knower as a knower of finite objects and finite bodies of knowledge. So, actually there is nothing to feel afraid about this at all. No need to feel scared, no need to feel afraid, no need to just be worried about this. Why? Because when this knower of a few things is knocked off, that identity, I am the knower of so and so is gone, then that means what? All there is this knowledge. All there is limitless knowledge for which there is no author. Therefore, Atmajnanam can be best described as a knowledge without an agent, without an author, without a knower. A knowledge without a knower. That is the best way to understand this here, and it is not easily understood. And so the next verse, the next mantra is important because it is also part of the Mandukya Karika, something like that. I will check on the reference properly, but I'm pretty sure it's 232. Na nirodho na chotpattihi na baddho na cha sadhakah na mumukshur na vaimuktah ityesha paramarthata. Na nirodha. Na nirodha means there is no sadhana there. Earlier we saw nirodha, restraint and the training and the discipline of the mind as an important sadhana. Tavadeva nirodhavyam yavad hridi gatam kshayam. We saw that earlier. Until which time the ahankara does not get, the mind ahankara does not get destroyed completely and does not stand out as a separate entity, until then all the practices of discipline, mental discipline and discipline in terms of the food, disciplines in terms of meditation, all these things are to be practiced. But here, what is being described here, iti, let us take the last part of the mantra, iti esha paramarthata. What is paramarthata? Paramarthata means that it is the Paramarthika Satta, one meaning, Paramarthata. The nature of being Paramartha. Paramartha means the ultimate order of reality. We have seen that. Paramarthika, Paramartha. So Paramarthata and Paramarthika, one and the same. Different ways of expressing the abstract noun. And so, iti esha Paramarthata. Iti esha Paramarthata means this here, what is the this? This that is going to be described is nothing but Paramarthahood, Paramarthaness. This is the Paramarthika reality. And what is in this reality? Let us see. Na nirodha. Nirodha means there is no need for discipline. Where is the discipline? What is the discipline for? What is the discipline for? For the sake of knowledge. For the sake of removing ignorance and gaining the knowledge, all disciplines are there. Wake up at 4 o'clock. Why? Because this is part of the package deal. This is part of the discipline. See, this is one more incentive to get enlightened quickly. Then you don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock. See, it says, na nirodha. Yeah, na nirodha. So such practices are for what? The training is for what? The body, the mind, the senses, the ahankara, most of all. It is all for the ahankara. And the ahankara, what has it thought of about itself? It has thought that I am just this, very important entity, very famous entity. This is me. This is how I am. All these things it is laboring, it is belaboring under all kinds of strange ideologies. And it needs to be disciplined. It needs to be trained. In fact, it needs to be obliterated as the sum total of the individual. Because the sum total of the individual is Brahman. It is not anything else. It is not anybody else. And so therefore, this is what is called Paramarthata, where there is no need. First one, let us see, na nirodha. There is no discipline, there is no starting the pursuit, there is no stopping the pursuit, there is no getting distracted from the pursuit, there is no applying oneself to the pursuit even with even more tenacity. All this is going to be described in the Mandukya Upanishad as dhyayati iva, as though the person is coming and sitting and meditating. And then, oh no, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, oh no, I got distracted. And then what? What happened here? Lelayati iva, as though got distracted. This is all from the standpoint of that reality where there are no two things, where there are no many things. In fact, where there is nothing except itself. And that itself is Satchidanandam Brahma, awareness, consciousness. All that is there is consciousness, and so there is no meditator, there is no meditation. What do you mean by there is no meditator? Of course there is no meditator. Where is the meditator? Two meanings here. After gaining self-knowledge, there is no need for meditation. There is no need for meditation after gaining self-knowledge. Why? Meditation is a tool. What is a tool? Like a can opener. So you have something nice in the can, some fruit or something, pineapple is there in a tin. So then it doesn't open. What do you need? You need a tin opener. So you take the tin opener and go like this. And then you are rewarded with what is inside the tin. Okay, you opened the tin, you got your pineapple out. Now, what is the use of the can opener? No use. Why? Because the can opener is not the pineapple. What is the pineapple? What's in the tin? The can opener is merely a tool. Merely a tool to aid, for me, an aid to get what I want. I do not mistake the tool for what it is giving me. So, so somebody was struggling with the can, you give them the can opener, they eat the can opener. No, you don't eat the tool. And the tool, once it is deployed, once it is used, what happens to the tool? Finished, gone, it's over. And it is gone. Some tools are like that. It's just like a straw. This is an even better example, because can opener, everybody will be thinking, what about the next tin of pineapple? Okay, I should wash and keep. All right, a better still example is you go and get one milkshake. You go and get a milkshake. Don't ask me where, okay? I'm not going to tell. So, so you go get a milkshake, and then what do? Then you apply one straw. And then you slurp it all out. You inhale the milkshake. No more milkshake left. After that, what do you do with the straw? Yeah, you throw it away. You can call it, this is the last straw, okay? No, you don't need to wash and keep, and wash and wipe and keep. You don't need to do that. Because these days, plastic straws are banned. They are killing the aqua life. They are killing the fishes. So the plastic is banned, and so we don't have any plastic here. And so what do we have? Just a paper straw. And the paper straw, by the time you finish the milkshake, has attained oneness with the milkshake. Yeah. In the true spirit of Vedanta teachings, it has attained oneness with the milkshake, and then what? So basically you just have to let that go. Namaha, bye-bye. This is the tool. Okay? You don't mistake the tool for the milkshake. Even though it has attained oneness with the milkshake, you put it on one side and then you just take the milkshake. And so like this, the nirodha. Nirodha here means either stopping or disciplining or observing this or that, observing the breath, observing the mind, all that we have seen these upayas. So this nirodha is an upalakshana for all upayas. And what has happened to this nirodha? Na nirodha. Here we are describing the paramarthika satta. And the one who has abided as, we can't say in, abided as the paramarthika satta, we are describing that kind of a person, and there is no discipline. No discipline at all. Oh, so the person of self-knowledge is like a wild thing going around and yelling, screaming? No. Maybe perhaps for the sake of society they may be doing exactly what the other people do. Why? Because they don't have a truck with trying to show that they are different. It is a knowledge without a knower, so there is no advertising. And besides, what is there to advertise? What is Atmajnanam other than the removal of ignorance? Ignorance is like a big bag of garbage. Anadi kalena, so collected from many lifetimes ago. This ignorance is like garbage. And what do you do to the garbage? Throw it away. As you go to throw the garbage, do you call up a press conference and call up all the people from the TV channels and everybody? No, please come, take some video footage and help here and publicize. I want to publicize me so and so of such and such fame. Me who is the, who am I? Me who is the daughter of so and so, son of so and so, spouse of so and so, with this many degrees and this much pedigree. This person, me, is going to throw away the garbage. I am, my friends, I am on the brink of enlightenment. Mark this moment. Nobody calls the press. When you are throwing away garbage, you do so with utter humility. In fact, you feel bad that you have generated so much garbage. How did so many things come? And you look to the left, look to the right, and quickly go throw it and come. So therefore, there is no nirodha. There is nothing there to talk about. There is no speaking of anything as such. There is no tools. There are no disciplines. And then, nacha utpattihi. Utpattihi means there is no birth. There is no, and there is another way to look at it, but first let us look at this. Utpattihi means birth. Birth of what? Birth of jignyasa, birth of mumuksha. Oh, now I am a newly minted mumukshu. Nobody will even understand you outside of these gates. You go outside, just outside, and you meet somebody and say, I am a mumukshu. They'll say, what kind of shoe? What kind of shoe is that? Is it imported? That's what they'll ask. They won't even understand. So, the birth of this knowledge, the desire for this knowledge is birthing through me. Here, all that doesn't apply. Why? Paramarthata. We are on a different plane or order of reality where there is no beginning, where there is no end, where there is no tools, and where there is no culmination of anything. So, na utpattihi, na nirodha, na utpattihi. This is from the standpoint of the person who of self-knowledge. From the standpoint of the person of self-knowledge. But if we take it from the standpoint of the knowledge itself, from the paramartha itself, not the one who embodies the paramarthika satta and abides as it, but from the standpoint of the order of reality itself, then nirodha and utpatti become a pair, and we have to look at, it's not much of a difference, slightly different meaning. There, nirodha means end, where there is no end. There is no end even to the Satchidananda, no end at all. Na utpattihi, no beginning. So we can take it simply as no beginning, no end, or we can take it as the beginning of the time of study and all the various disciplines, the tools of study, like that also we can take it as. Na nirodho, na utpattihi. And then this nirodha means all the tools and disciplines, and utpattihi, the importance which is being talked about all the time. What is the importance being talked about all the time? You should become a jignasu. First you should become a mumukshu. First you should gain the 3 M's. What are the 3 M's? Ayyo, so sad. Yeah. Viveka Chudamani in the beginning. What was that? Manushyatvam. Second M, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha samshraya abha. So, manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha samshraya. You should gain the 3 M's. All this is talked about. All this is utpatti. And then here, all this is not necessary. Why? All the whole truth of oneself has been gained. There is nothing more needed. Nothing at all is wanted. No desires, no wants, no need to go anywhere, no need to get anything. So why is the person asked to gain the 3 M's? Because durlabham narajanma jantunam narajanma durlabham. It is rare to find human birth. Only in human birth, through human birth, you can have some possibility of liberation from samsara. All this is talked about for what purpose? For the purpose of the as though pursuit. The pursuit is as though, ignorance is as though, and the person who takes on the mantle of ignorance and the identity of the ignorant person is also what? As though. It's as though all the way. And therefore, na baddhaha. There is no one that is bound. Na baddha. Where is the baddha? Baddha means bound. Nobody that is bound. Is there somebody that is bound? No. Can I say, I was bound before, but now that I have encountered the Upanishads, I am no longer bound? Is this a correct statement? No. What is the correct statement? I was never bound. But why don't I know it? That question you have to answer. Why should I answer all the questions? Why don't I know it? You have to answer that question. So, see, nabaddha, like remember the story of the cows. You don't tell me you have forgotten the story of the cows. Yes, remember, right? Yeah. So, like the story of the 300 cows that were as though tied up, but what did they inside their head believe? They believed that they were really tied up and unable to move. And so like that, all the mumukshus, jignasus are what? Thinking, I have bondage. And this bondage is called samsara. The bondage has a name. Samyak sarati iti samsara. And this is how the bondage looks like. I can describe the bondage. I can describe when it started. Oh, since birth and even before. And it is anadi bondage, meaning it doesn't have a beginning. I will describe, and I will describe the bondage as intolerable, like the student in the Viveka Chudamani does. What does he say? He says that this, what does he say? Durvara samsara davagni taptam dodhuyamanam duradrishta vataihi bhitam prapannam paripahi mrityoho. Take me out of this fear of death. And I am being assailed by the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. I just feel terrible, and I am just targeted by samsara. Targeted by samsara means what? Targeted by my own ajnanam, my own atma ajnanam I am targeted by. That's what it is. I am in the grip of wrong thinking. I am in the grip of finitude, thinking that I am born. I am in the grip of thinking more than that. It's fine to think I am born, but the rest of it is terrible. What is the rest of it? I'm about to die. That's the worst of everything. So that I am born, that I am about to die, that oh my God, this samsara is too much. I'm having a samsara attack. Help Guru. All this is gone where? In the understanding that all that is there is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Satchidananda Atma, which happens to be Brahman. Brahman and Atma are definitely synonyms. This Brahmatma, which I am, which I have understood I am, from that standpoint, not only I am no longer bound, what do I understand? Nobody is bound. But yet, we behave as though one is bound. Everybody behaves as though they are bound without being bound. Why? Aghatita ghatana patiyasi maya. There is one Maya Panchakam. Very interesting text. If we have time, we can do that. So there, these 5 verses have one chorus. Aghatita ghatana patiyasi maya. Patiyasi maya means, oh you clever Maya. Patu. Patiyasi means patutara. You are cleverer than everybody. Why? What do you do? Aghatita ghatana. You make the impossible possible. So this Satchidananda Atma, how come it feels bound? It should be impossible, correct? I am Satchidananda Atma. There is no bondage for me. Nobody is telling me I am bound, yet I feel bound. How is it possible? Aghatita ghatana patiyasi maya. And then the one that feels bound, what does the person need to do? Go to the teacher, find a teacher. and tell the teacher, please get me out of this bondage. And the teacher also says, yes, you are suffering from a very sad case of bondage. The teacher goes along with it, because the person is not in a place to hear otherwise. You are not bound, the person is not ready to hear. Like the hypochondriac. Who is the hypochondriac? The one who thinks, I am sick. When? All the time. The hypochondriac goes to the doctor every single day. Doctor, I don't feel well. What? Oh, general aches and pains and general problems and general everything, and in a bad way I am. Help. And then, so in villages and all, they have just a small little red looking mixture just for this kind of ailment. What is that? Colored water and a little sugar. That's all it is. It is called placebo. And you just measure into a small little cup and tell the fellow, drink it, you will be all right. Okay, thank you, drinks it. I feel much better. Until when? Next day. In this manner, there is all this, what is that? This palliative, placebo-like care. The Guru also has to do the same thing. Oh, Guru also has colored water? What is that called? What is that called? Amritabindu Upanishad. Okay, that's all. So, it's all just different ways in which the person has to be carried along, because the person is not able to understand the reality of not being bound at all. The person is not able to understand the reality. Like the person who has come out from outside in a panic and says, I have been bitten by a terribly poisonous snake. I feel the poison coming. I feel like shithilayate means these angani, all these, what is that called? The limbs are getting atrophied. I am about to die. Help, help, help. So from the fangs you can make out what kind of a snake it is. The body is examined, no bite marks on the body at all. Then they say, okay, let's hope the snake is still there. Show me the snake. Let's first diagnose the snake, because otherwise what is the use of administering the wrong antidote without knowing? So then the snake, he says, oh, it won't have gone anywhere. Okay, let's see. So he shows the snake. What is the snake? A big rope. Why rope all the time? Maybe a hose pipe lying in the lawn. Lying in the front lawn, one hose pipe he shows, and he says, this is what bit me. And then the people look at one another. They understand what is going on. And amongst them, the leader says, I have the correct solution. Please come inside. Yes, indeed, it's a difficult situation that you are undergoing. Because if everybody says, this is a hose pipe, he is not ready. He or she is not ready to accept that. So therefore you have to go along and say, yes, this is a dire situation. Because it is a dire situation, because totally crazy here. Cray, as they say in America. Okay, so totally crazy, and then the person is brought inside and then made to calm down after drinking some water, and then two things have to be told. First is, it is not a snake. And then second thing is, it is a hose pipe, it is not a snake. Number 3, therefore you are not bitten. Similarly, the student of Vedanta, newly minted Jignasu, Mumukshu, etc., goes to the Guru in all seriousness, jumping up and down, I have a samsara attack, I am bound, I am been bitten, all these things. So the Guru has to, that's why the Guru is called Ahetuka Daya Sindhu, has to enter into the world of the student as though, and validate that madness temporarily. Temporarily take the problem to be real, because the student is taking the problem to be real. Temporarily, and then tell the student, you are not at risk. You are not at problem, you are not in danger. You are not at all in danger. This is what has to be done temporarily. Temporarily, the teacher enters as it were into the world of the student in order to teach, in order to soothe the student at first, and then in order to teach and say, what is it being said? Na baddha. There is nobody that is tied up. Oh, but you agreed I was tied up, because that you were behaving as though you were tied up. I had to agree. You were not ready to understand that you were not bitten. You were convinced you were bitten by the snake of ignorance. You were bitten by the snake of self-ignorance. About this you were convinced. So now I have to tell you, now you are ready to see that there was no biting happened. Why? Because there is no ajnanam, so to speak. This is very beautiful. What ajnanam? Where is the ajnanam? Oh, right here. That is for the person who is convinced I am unable to see the reality. There is no ajnanam. None at all. So, no ajnanam. Why? Because there is no bondage. There is neither ajnanam nor the cause of it, which is, no bondage, nor the cause of it, which is atma ajnanam. So then, na baddha. So if there is no person who is bound, is there a sadhaka? Sadhaka means what? Sadhaka means seeker, spiritual aspirant. Sadhaka. Sadhaka is the one who is interested in doing sadhanas. The one who is doing sadhanas, standing on one leg, doing various kinds of tapas, meditating, going to the temple, all these things. These are all sadhanas. So there is no sadhaka. What happened to the sadhaka? Gone. Gone where? Where did the sadhaka go? Resolved in the understanding that all that is there is one reality, which is paramarthika satta. So, na mumukshuhu, and one more is there, I think. What is that? Na mumukshuhu, another pair is here. Na mumukshuhu na vai muktaha. Where is the mumukshu? Shu, to the mumukshu. Gone. No mumukshu. Mumukshu is for who? Who has minted themselves as a mumukshu? The one who is seeking the freedom. But when there is nobody that is bound, is there somebody to seek the freedom? If there is no bondage, is there a need to seek freedom? No. That is the paramarthata being described. There is no bondage, therefore there is no seeker. No seeker, therefore there is no freedom. The one who has attained the freedom is also not there. No sadhaka, no person who is doing various kinds of sadhanas, no one who says, I am a mumukshu from this moment onwards. I am a mumukshu. No person who says, I am a mumukshu, and then no person who says, before I was baddha, now I am mukta. Nobody who says that. These are all pairs of dyads and opposites. Dyads and opposites are there in the empirical reality called vyavaharika satta. But when I occupy the paramarthika satta, when I abide in the paramarthika satta, all these things are irrelevant, totally irrelevant. It's like going from the northern hemisphere, you go to the southern hemisphere, underneath the equator you go for a holiday. So what all is the person in the northern hemisphere? Let's say there is winter in the northern hemisphere. And what are they wearing? Panchakosha, okay, 5 sweaters of various kinds. And then what do they have to, what do they do as they pack for their holiday in some island in the southern hemisphere? What do they take with them? Nothing that they are wearing they can take. Nothing at all. Everything they have to just pack, put aside. None of those can go in the packing, and it is, and let's say somebody packs a suitcase of all the winter clothes and keeps it there, and then another suitcase they pack of holiday clothes, all light things, summery clothes, and then what? Let's say both the suitcases look alike, and by mistake they check in the winter clothes wala suitcase, and then it comes on that thing that goes round and round, carousel. The luggage carousel, it comes, and then the person picks it up, opens it, and it's all sweaters, mufflers, jackets, topi, all these things, hats, socks, etc. Is this of any use to them there? No. After they bemoan their fate, what do they have to do? Go shopping immediately because they don't have anything. By mistake, instead of bringing the clothes that was meant for now, that went into storage by mistake, and that which should have been stored came with the person on the vacation. They will be looking at it and saying, what? It is of no relevance. It is of no relevance, but there's no use convincing them it's a nice sweater. Yes, let it be a nice sweater, but it doesn't apply to me right now. Because now I'm a sweater, I'm sweating, and this is not applicable to me right now at all. Looking at it itself, I have distaste for it. It is not relevant at all. Totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. Like the bald person going through the shampoo and the hair care aisles of the supermarket. Yeah, think of the total vairagya there. Yeah, and so many hair products are there. What is there? Shampoo, conditioner, what else is there? Gel, some kind of gel. I've never understood these gels, because some gels people wear to make the hair lie down because they have disobedient hair, and some gels these young people wear to make it stand up in a particular way. Okay, go figure. Okay, but anyhow, so hair gels and lotions and potions and pills for hair growth and all these things. The bald person has been through it all. The bald person just walks. This is all completely irrelevant to me. What's on the left side is irrelevant to me. What's on the right side, full from top to toe, there will be all bottles and things, sprays, bottles, everything, and that is also irrelevant to me. Just like the bald fellow, he goes without looking to the left, without looking to the right. Similarly, there is nothing for the person in the Paramarthika Satta, abiding as Satchidananda, all these things. What is Mumukshu? They won't even know how to spell it. What is Jigyasu? It's irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. It's not that after knowledge there is no Nirodha, no Baddha, no Mumukshu, no Mukti. No, even before knowledge that was the same. But I was in a different understanding, or rather non-understanding. I was completely tied to my ignorance. I had owned up my ignorance as my ignorance. I had owned up self-ignorance as my ignorance, because of which I had a lot of problems, because of which I had to mint myself as a mumukshu, rebrand myself as a jignasu, and do all the things. Follow the rules. Go here, go there, do this, do that, study this Upanishad, study that Upanishad, study Bhagavad Gita. All for what? To then come to the bright conclusion, all this was never necessary to begin with. This is one more as though paradox of Vedanta. Na mumukshuhu, na vai muktaha, iti esha paramarthata. एक एव आत्मा मंतव्यः Jagrat Swapna Sushuptishu Sthanatrayavyatitasya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Yeah. So, Ekaha eva Atma Mantavyah. Mantavyah, man means to think, to consider. But here we have to look at the context. Mantavyah means must be comprehended as. Must be comprehended as one and one alone. Ekaha eva Atma Mantavyah. One Atma must be, the Atma must be comprehended as Ekaha eva, one alone. There is no your Atma, my Atma, his Atma, her Atma, its Atma, clean Atma, dirty Atma, in between Atma, bound Atma, free Atma. No. Atma is that which does not need and cannot have any adjectives. All adjectives are because of which that is Atma. Eka eva Atma Mantavyah. That same Atma which illumines my thoughts in my mind will also be illumining the donkey's thoughts in the donkey's mind. But what do donkeys think about? We don't know. Okay? But they do have thoughts. Maybe they think, I just feel like giving somebody a nice kick right now. Yeah, maybe that's the thought. A nice tight kick. I feel a kick coming on. Let me just kick this person. Maybe that's the thought. But that thought, is what? We would think, oh my God, it's a bad thought. How could the donkey think like this? It's a bad thought. But the same Atma illumines that thought versus a Shubha Ichha. Somewhere else, a mumukshu is thinking, I should go gain this self-knowledge, which is a auspicious Ichha. And so, therefore, what? The same Atma illumines that. Illumines the thought inside the donkey, I feel like a nice tight kick, let anybody come, the next person is going to get it. Or the person who says, I think I need to gain Atma Jnanam. Same Atma. Same Atma is manifesting the thoughts. And we can even add someone who is planning to rob the bank. Same Atma is manifesting the to-be robber's thoughts, and the same Atma is manifesting somebody who says, I want to do service to the society. I want to distribute clothes. I want to distribute food. Annadanam, I want to distribute money. Same Atma. Ekaha eva Atma Mantavyah. So same Atma everywhere, and the same Atma in the person also, where Jagrat Swapna Sushuptishu. This we have done in great detail, so I can afford to go a little faster, I think anyway. Jagrat means waking state. Swapna means dream state. Sushupti means deep sleep state. So, as we have illustrated many times, it is not that somebody else went to sleep and I woke up. No. The one who went to sleep woke up. The one who is awake now will go to sleep again. The one who is asleep had the dream, and it is the thread in and through various states of experience. Sleeping, dreaming, waking, eating, drinking, everything. Those are all different pearls. That which is strung through the same strung, sutre, the same string, sutre maniganaha iva. The same string which is manifesting this beautiful necklace. What is this beautiful necklace? A day in the life of somebody, which is a beautiful necklace of various states, various activities. All the states, all the activities are pearls in the necklace. What is the Atma? The string that strings through this particular day. So if they write a blog, this is what I did from morning to night. What is the one that is underneath all these things? Underneath also we cannot use. So called underneath, within heavy quotes. What is that which is the adhisthana of all the activities? That's a better word. Adhisthana means the truth. What is the truth of all these activities? Because the activities by themselves come and go, come and go, come and go. Activities come and go, and then what is there is that which never comes and goes. That is what is there, which is eka eva atma mantavyah jagrit swapna sushuptishu jagradadi avasthastu su. And then if we know this, the one who knows this, what? For that person punarjanma na vidyate. There is no need to come back after the body has dropped. Which means that the body does not drop at the time of knowledge. Thank God. Thank God. Because already so few people interested in Vedanta. And then if one knows, if I get enlightened, I'm going to, gone. I understood, yes, I see it, yes. Then who will go? Who will go to for this knowledge? Nobody will go. And that is the least of our concerns. What will happen to all the people who know? Gone. So the people who are teaching Vedanta are who? Those who don't know. Think about it. Yeah. Not a single enlightened person is there. Think about this. Only Ajnanis are teaching. Correct? 2 other Ajnanis. And so therefore, this thankfully doesn't happen. That's why we have Jivan Mukti, living while liberated. So the life continues. Why? Prarabdha karma was already set in motion. Like the arrow that was directed at a particular target. If you just remove the target, the arrow will still go towards that target. And so the arrow will hit the target no matter what, and then in the course of the arrow, somewhere along the line, the person gains self-knowledge, means still the life will continue. Life will continue. When the body drops, it is called Videha Mukti. Jivan Mukti, while still alive, I know I am Brahman, I know I am not this jaded, faded jiva, I know I am not this grieving jiva, I know that. So then, what am I now? I am free. I am free of the bonds of samsara, and then, let's say, after many, many years of living like this, the jnani drops the body. The body, because of its laws, undergoes old age, sickness, and then ultimately what? Death. Then what happens? Then very interesting things happen. Natasya pranaha utkramanti. Meaning, the physical body is left for everybody to see. That's why when they say such and such a person dropped the mortal coils, dropped the body. Physical body is there for everybody to see. What about the subtle body? It does not travel. The physical body joins the physical elements, the subtle body joins the subtle elements. The subtle body does not travel. Why? 2 reasons. One is because there are no desires, and because for the jnani there is no karma that makes the subtle body travel. For everybody else, the subtle body travels because in search of fulfilling all the desires that have been left behind, the subtle body travels. The subtle body goes to various lokas. The subtle body is urgently wanting to take on another physical body because the subtle body cannot fulfill desires. By itself, it is just there, it can't do anything. So the subtle body is traveling in the case of all the jivas, but in the case of the person who knows I am Brahman, the subtle body joins the subtle elements. The gross body joins the gross element. What other body is there? Causal body. Yeah, not casual body, okay? Yeah, causal body. The causal body is not there at all. It has been destroyed while gaining the knowledge. But what is the causal body? Ignorance. Don't get confused. Causal body is not something exotic. Causal body means ignorance. Is the ignorance there for a jnani? No. Say no so we can move on quickly. Ignorance is not there for the jnani, and so the causal body is not there for the jnani. Therefore there is no punaravritti, no coming back. If that is not there, then what happens? Then there is coming back. Even if you go to Brahmaloka, you will come back. Brahma bhuvanal lokat punaravartino Arjuna. Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Arjuna is told, you have to gain me as the truth of yourself, then there is no coming back. Otherwise, no matter what loka you go and stay, no matter how long you stay, it's just a holiday out. Like we have a hotel in India, in the world, in America and all, what is that called? Holiday Inn, and this one is holiday out. That's all. You enjoy and then you come back. Here there is no coming back. Because there is neither karma means karma phala. There is neither karma phala nor there is what? There is no karma phala and there is no desire. That combination makes one no need to take on another body. Why there is no karma phala? Because it was destroyed at the time of knowledge. Except for prarabdha, the other two karma. Agami karma is destroyed. How is agami karma destroyed? By understanding I am not the karta, and by mistake if the jnani steps on an insect, what happens to that papa karma? Goes to the people who disrespect the jnani and criticize the jnani. But the jnani is also accumulating so much punya. What happens to the punya? Goes to the people who praise and worship the jnani, and so agami karma gone, sanchita karma destroyed at the time of gaining the knowledge, destroyed by knowledge, and then prarabdha karma from the standpoint of the onlookers continues, but the jnani does not really own up the prarabdha karma. For the jnani, from the standpoint of the jnani, no prarabdha karma. From the standpoint of the onlookers, they will say the jnani's prarabdha is there. That's all, because they see a few things. They see the jnani getting into a wheelchair. They see the jnani's body getting weak. All these things they see. So this is what is talked about here. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And so therefore the whole thing has to be understood that once this knowledge takes place, punaravrittihi na, there is no coming back. So now where are we? We have just finished verse number 12. And so rest we will see later on. Tomorrow is what? Holiday. After a long time, well-deserved holiday. In fact, we can call today itself weekend. Okay? So, no satsang tonight. All right? Yeah. So you can start, what is that, celebrating after 5 p.m., after Sanskritam class. Sanskritam class compulsory, chanting class, people are not going, it is compulsory. You have to attend. All right? Yeah. And if people behave like elementary school children, then we will have to take attendance. Yeah, we have to start taking attendance and then complain to the principal who will be coming back. Who will be coming back on the 2nd. All right? Acharya Swamiji will be back on the 2nd. So please don't please don't behave like school children. All right? Because we are at a different level here. Nobody is forcing anybody to do anything, but we have a package deal, and this is what the course comprises, and one is not in charge of thinking what is necessary and what is not necessary. So that is one thing. Second is that I'm going for 10 days. I'm going out and then coming back. I will be back on the 11th. On the 11th we'll start classes, but Swamiji will be here, so no worry at all, okay? And then at 11 o'clock you will be watching, 11 o'clock and satsang time, you will be watching Pujya Swamiji's videos. So you can continue with that. So 11 o'clock, 11 to 12, you will be watching videos, and then 7:45 to 8:45 also you will be watching videos. We will be taking attendance in both the classes. All right? Yeah. And then one more announcement. What else is there? Second is what? No holiday. Yeah. Second is no holiday. All right. Second is Sunday, no holiday. Holiday for the rest of the world, not for you, because you've already had one holiday before. Second is not only no holiday, but 7 o'clock here, meditation. All right. From starting with the second. Meditation is there. 2 weeks we enjoyed because it was so bitterly cold, but no more now. So you will come here and exactly at 7 for meditation. 7 to 7:30 meditation, and then what else we have? We have 8:45 to 9:45 first class, and then on the second, and the second, third, all of it. 11 to 12, 12:15 we have the second class, and then before that 10 o'clock we have 10 to 10:45 we have chanting, and then what else? Then lunch, and then we have 3:45 to 5 various Sanskrit classes, whichever one you belong. 5 to 6 yoga, and then what else? Satsang. Yeah. Today you can take, today you want yoga today?
Yeah.
Only one person said yes. Alas. Yeah. Have yoga, it's good. It's no problem. After that you can take off. Okay? Purna will teach on Mondays and Fridays. Purna will teach. Rest of the time Kavya will teach. Okay? All right. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.